The Veda describes the original state of cosmic dust or formative dust in nature, indicating their inactive property. To make formative dust active, Rig Veda verse number 161 explains that God is spreading His light from all the directions to form or make unbalanced atomic particles. Further, Rig Veda verse number 162 describes that there are two powers which attach to the main body of atomic particles. In addition, Veda calls Varuna, Mitra and Aryama as Proton, Electron and Neutron. Varuna is positively charged like Proton, Mitra as negatively charged like Electron, and Aryama is neutrally charged like Neutron. Rig Veda verse number 163 explores that with the help of rays or wave, the formless and potential substance became active with certain form. This means that earlier substance was having no form. Atomic particles become stable by attraction and repulsion forces. In this way, positively charged proton or Varuna yields 5 action organs or Karm Indriyas. Electron of negatively charged or Mitra is responsible for all the senses or Gyan Indriyas, and neutron having no charge or Aryama is responsible for bringing out droplets of energy or objects, including 5 bases elements of Panch Mahabhoota. Veda explains that how these 3 fundamental particles bring out 22 elements because of cosmic intelligence or Mahan, while their interaction in the cosmos. Hence total ingredients taking part while formation of stars, galaxy, solar system, animates and inanimates are 23, and they work for mirror image of God, and finally they work for God Himself. In addition, there are many verses in Veda which provides the details for formation of isotopes and gamma rays in atomic science.
Related to what Veda tells about atomic science. The Veda speaks on atomic science and how the atomic science, what are the chronological order of atomic science, and ultimately we'll see that how the atomic science also endorses the concept of Sankhya principle given by Kapila Muni. It is based on that. And atomic science, once we talk about atomic science or the Veda, what it tells in depth of that, Rig Veda, certain mantras, speaks completely on how the whole energy scenario of the universe is getting maintained, first getting chain reaction and then being maintained and controlled. So all things are mentioned in the Veda, Rig Veda, certain verses. We will try to take out the verses of those verses related to this. And while discussion, we will find that Big Bang defined by science, what the Veda tells about the Big Bang. Shortly, we'll see that also. Not only that, we conduct the prayer, we say it is fact that we tell with the help of prayer that Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. That means that Brahma is Purna, complete, and from complete Brahma, complete universe is taken, even that Brahma is completely Brahma is complete. There is no deterioration or there is no any setback in the Brahma. So that also gets cleared with the help of atomic science once we are going to discuss what Veda tells. So a lot of things we can gain from this discussion. And let us start what Veda tells. Veda brings one of the verses or one of the mantra. Veda tells that first of all, whole universe is filled with cosmic dust. Cosmic dust is nothing, a sort of formative dust. Billion, trillions of cosmic dust, formative dust, exist in the universe in the balanced state. Balance means this, each dust, each cosmic dust consists of 3 particles and all are in introvert nature. For clarity, let us imagine one cosmic dust as a circle, and inside the circle from periphery at 120-degree angle, 3 particles exist pointing towards its center. So that is called, from dust have got the particles pointing towards center. Center means the whole dust is in introvert condition or balanced condition. It is uniformly, it is existing without any activity. It is completely balanced. So cosmic dust in balanced condition or introvert condition, having 3 particles pointing towards center, is called nature. Nature has got the dust, and those dust are not at all active. They are introvert and they are in a balanced condition. Then what Veda says, the effulgent light of Paramatma or God, that pushes or that acts on the each cosmic dust and make them active, means that the introvert nature of particles at 120 degree, that gets extrovert. That becomes, means all heads of the arrows inside or particles that gets exposed towards the surface of the dust. So this activity is done by the effulgent light of Paramatma. Paramatma is nothing but the full of effulgent light, completely effulgent light in the Nirakara Brahma. And that light only activates the sleeping dust, or we can say the formative dust, which exist in the nature. Nature is defined by the same. What is nature? Nature is nothing but the billion trillions of cosmic dust in introvert condition without having activity. That is the Prakriti, that is the nature. So Rig Veda tells about that. The same is getting activated with the help of effulgent light. Further, what Veda tells, once all the cosmic dust, not all, whatever dust have been projected or brought under the light, effulgent light, they become active. Then how they get movement. So for that, another sloka of Veda describes that the reins of the horses pull them apart. And that kind of sort of imagination we have put on the slide, that how the 2 particles, we have taken only 2 particles for clarity, that how the 2 particles get pulled by having the force. So in that shown that each particle has got 3 projected outward extrovert nature of particles, and particles having a neutral charge, they are silent, but particles having positive and negative charge, they form a sort of attractive force, and that kind of force pulls them out. Means that gives a sort of disturbance in the among the particles, and that way particles move from one place to other place. So that is also described in Veda. And further, Veda tells that this way the original state of Prakriti or nature could have been the silent mode of all the particles. And here one thing I forgot to mention, that Veda tells about the particles in different names. Both are same. What Veda tells about the particles, Veda tells that inside the cosmic dust there are three particles named as Varuna, Mitra, and Aryama. Varuna has got positive charge, Mitra has got negative charge, and Aryama has got zero charge or neutral charge. Same thing is correspondingly or respectively, they are they have been indicated in atomic science. That is, proton having positive charge, electron having negative charge, and neutron has got zero charge or neutral charge. So, in Vedic terms, that Varuna is nothing but a proton, Mitra is nothing but the electron, and Aryama is nothing but the neutron. And this Varuna, Mitra, and Aryama, they are only exist. They exist only in the cosmic dust in introvert form in the beginning, and after having the attack or a sort of shower of effulgent light, all gets projected outside. So that we have seen already. Now, once this Varuna, Aryama, or Mitra are in introvert, that is a state of Prakriti. But nature, Prakriti or nature, and that state is made active or in the form of inception when controller Brahman or effulgent light acts on the sleeping mode of particles. Then all the things we have seen in that Vedic mantra. Now, having all the things that the Veda tells, that atomic particle is also named in Veda as Apah. Apah they call, Apah with otherwise meaning of Apah is jala or water, but they are in fluid state. All the particles become a sort of semi-fluid state. And they just act upon or they move. As we have seen that the movement started because of the two forces, attractive forces, pull the atom. While doing that, while gaining the movement or momentum, they form the strong or a sort of completely stable type of atomic particle as a proton, electron, and neutron, or in Vedic term as a Varuna, Mitra, and Aryama. And these atomic particles, once having a stability, they are called Vasu, V-A-S-U, Vasu in Vedic term. And here in our scientific term, they are the particles. Most of us, we know that particles, once we talk, we are having only proton, electron, and neutron in scientific aid. Because any atom structure, we have seen that in center, there is a neutron enclosed by the proton, covered by the proton. Both are existing in center of the atom, and orbit of the atom has got electron orbiting around that. So this is the concept of atom. But at the same time, particle physics, they have found a fourth particle also, that is neutrino. And in Veda, it is said that that fourth particle comes because of all the three, means Mitra, Varuna, Mitra, and Aryama, and they also exist, undoubtedly, but the three are the major one. After having the movement, once they gain the movement, then they form the air, means a sort of momentum forms the change in the neighboring place, and that way air or vayu has been formed. So these two things are the product of when effulgent light attacks on the particle cosmic dust, and they get activated and they form the air. So Vasu and air, Vasu and Deva is air. So they are the that has been mentioned in the Vedic term. So they are the formation of atomic particles after getting activated. In the long run, they just try to repel or try to attract each other. Like we know that if the charges are same, then they repel. If both two positive charge come together, repel each other, and if negative and positive particles come together, they attract each other. So the same phenomena happens in the universe. And lastly, they make a sort of very stable kind of pentagon. Pentagon means a sort of a structure mandala where 5 cosmic dust, active dust, are getting enclosed, having the exposure of their charges facing outward, but inward they are balanced. I mean to say that any pentagon you can imagine, there are 5 corners, and each corner active cosmic dust is there, and there one charge, let us say positive charge, is facing towards the surface, outer surface, and negative and neutral charge is inside, which are getting a balance, which are attracting other particles from other corner, and they are neutral. Means inside the pentagon, they are neutral, but outside of the pentagon, they are having positive charge. Similarly, negatively charged particle also does the same thing, and neutral particle also does the same thing. They, by forming the pentagon structure, they become very stable, and they are actually the part and parcel of bringing all the particles, all the ingredients of the universe for the creation. So they all each pentagon, positively charged outer surface of pentagon, negatively charged outer surface, and neutrally charged outer surface, all the 3 are called Ahankara because they are very strong, and they only govern, they only attract the other particles of the universe existing in the energy form, and then only those particles are given to the Prakriti or nature to form an object. Let us see what happens. Positively charged pentagon, they have got all around positive charge, and negative and balanced are getting equalized among themselves. So this is positively charged pentagon or particle, we can say that mandala in terms of Vedic term. That positively charged mandala is responsible to bring certain aspects of certain ingredients from the universe. Similarly, negatively charged mandala will attract certain ingredients, and neutral attract certain ingredients. So we see that what are the ingredients attracted by each. Neutrally charged mandala will attract the tanmatra. Tanmatra means droplets of the energy. So they are having sabda, asparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. That is a basic sattva which has got the tendency to form the Panch Mahabhoota. So let us make it more clear that neutrally charged pentagon attracts the tanmatra, that is nothing but that is droplets of the energy, and they are of 5 kinds, and those 5 kinds are forming in larger, in a grosser way, that is Panch Mahabhoota, that is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Similarly, positively charged mandala, which is another Ahankara, they are forming, they are attracting the 5 action organs, what we call Karm Indriyas. And because 5 are there, so all are responsible for each Karm Indriya, so that way they attract. And those action organs are drawn in the action, means taken in as a sort of ingredients for creation. Similarly, negatively charged pentagon or mandala will attract, will give a sort of, will produce the ingredients like all sensory organs, like what we are having, hearing sense, smelling sense, as well as sight and tasting all. So those indriyas are getting activated, or those indriyas are brought and given to the nature for creation. So what we saw, that 3 ahankara, negatively charged ahankara, gives 10 elements like 5 tanmatra, and in turn 5 tanmatra gives 5 Panch Mahabhoota, so 10 ingredients. Similarly, positively charged ahankara, that gives the 5 ingredients like 5 action organs or Karm Indriya, and 5 negatively charged pentagon or mandala brings the 5 sensory organs or Karm Indriya. So altogether, these 3 ahankara brings around 20 ingredients. And in addition, they themselves are 3 ahankara, so total 23 elements. With the atomic concept also we saw that it is handed over to the Prakriti or nature or creation. So, but it is this we have seen in Vedic terminology, that they are of active particles, atomic particles, which are taken into account. And that way, this 23 plus ahankara itself, means Mahat itself, which is first initial stage got activated, that is 24, and all 24 are working for the Brahman or for the Purusha. So the 25 particles are responsible for creation of any object. That was the secret of nature, and that is the secret of atomic particle, atomic science, and as well as the secret, but these 2 secrets, this kind of secret was found by Kapila Muni, the great Rishi, who found the secret of nature, and at the same time that can be made use for the individual human being, so that furthermore advantage of this secrecy can be obtained. So we have, so far we have understood that how atomic particle came into existence, what was the prior state, and how that atomic particle got a movement, and how the atomic particle got framed as a sort of ahankara, or we can say stable pentagon mandala, and how these mandala have were in action to get the ingredients for nature.
Please like, share and subscribe.